Have you ever walked away from an important conversation thinking, damn it, why didn't I say that better? You froze in the moment and then you said the bloody wrong thing in the wrong way, which then caused people to look at you differently.
You can have the right words, the right ideas, or even the right opportunity and still lose people the moment you speak. Because confidence is not just what you say. It is how you sound when you say it. And the truth is, most people don't struggle with communication. They struggle with sounding confident. In this episode of Pitch Perfect, we are breaking down powerful insight on how to speak with clarity and stand with confidence while speaking, inspired by one of the most practical voices in public speaking, Vinh Giang. And I will show you how to apply it in your business, your sales, and your everyday conversations. This is Pitch Perfect.
After 15 years as a communication skills coach, I've noticed there are 3 specific habits that most people do which cause them to be overlooked in their career. And only once you change these habits, it then transforms the way you come across to others. In this video, I'll share with you 3 moments from an exclusive communication workshop where these problems came up and exactly how to fix them.
I am asked to speak a lot in my work.
Yes.
I try so hard to not get nervous and to hold myself well and to speak clearly. But in high-pressure situations, I will ramble, and it will be a long soliloquy where there are no full stops, no commas. It just goes on and on and on.
You're articulating yourself very well right now. You barely breathed while you did that. Felt like you did that on one breath. So something that helps us with that from the first point is learning something called declarative statements. So declarative statements are statements that are short, punchy, to the point. So when you make statements like this, it forces your brain to not be in a state of rambling. Because rambling is when, if you want to become more authority with what you're saying, then what you can do is, you can keep your sentences, sometimes a little bit short, and you can do that by putting a full stop at the end. And, what happens after you do that is it helps people feel like you have more authority than you think. That's rambling. Whereas declarative statements, you have to practice this. It's a skill. So here's my challenge for you. You go to a random word generator online, and then you go, give me a random topic. And then within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you have to continually make declarative statements about that topic. For example, it says duck. Now you have to make declarative statements about a duck. A duck has 2 feet. Ducks, when they're young, are yellow. As they grow, they can be many different colors, often white. And you're making these declarative statements as a new behavior to replace rambling. Okay, so you have to learn how to make sentences that are shorter, punchier, and have more authority. First thing. Second thing, you need frameworks. You need to learn frameworks, because when you don't rely on frameworks, what happens is the following. When your brain is crazy, when you're thinking all over the place, this is what causes rambling, right? Because they ask you a question, you think about a topic, your brain just does that, and then you start talking like that. Because you're speaking your thoughts. And when you speak your thoughts, it's not clear. What you need to do is you need to learn frameworks. And what frameworks do is it distills your thinking into a meaningful piece of communication.
Composes your communication.
The simplest one I teach, and I use this, and people go, oh, it's too simple. Nope, it's what I use, and you'll see me do it every Q&A. It's just called 3, 2, and 1. So 3 steps, 2 types, and the one thing. So when you're speaking, and you want to be extremely precise, you can use the one thing. Because I can say, the one thing I have to say about how you can improve, use declarative statements. That's me using the one thing to answer a question. Whereas most people, when they speak, they're doing this. You're being clear and concise. And with frameworks, it gives you a container to put your thoughts into that becomes more clear.
Now, if frameworks are something you want to go deeper on, I've put together a free 2-hour crash course where I share 3 powerful communication frameworks to help you improve the way you speak while you're under pressure so that you can come across more clear, concise, and coherent in any situation. Just click the link in the description or you can scan the QR code that's on screen. Again, it's completely free and thousands of people have been through it, so go check it out. But here's the thing. Fixing what you say is only half the picture. The next 2 moments focus on how you actually say it.
When I raise my volume, I feel like I'm shouting at everybody. But then when I lower the volume, I get told, oh, I couldn't quite hear you.
So that means, Jeff, you're saying that there are times when you go loud, but you feel like you're shouting. Are they perceiving it like you're shouting? Or do you feel like you're shouting?
No one's told me that I'm shouting, so
Okay.
I feel like I'm shouting.
Okay, this is an important point I need to make. There's something when it comes to communication is that it's your internal perception versus external reception. You're internally perceiving yourself to be a certain volume. People externally are perceiving you to be a certain volume. And right now there's a mismatch between your internal and the external. What would you say your average volume is on a daily basis? What would you say that it is?
5.
5 out of 10? Okay, cool. So you use that number, and in conversations now when you speak, I want you to do this experiment here at this workshop. Then at the end of the conversation, you just ask one question. Hey, can I ask you, if you had to rate my volume between 1 and 10, 1 is whispering, and 10 is being obnoxiously loud, where would you say I sit? And now you want to calibrate the internal perception versus the external reception, because it's off. Because if you feel like you're shouting and no one's ever given you that feedback, if you maintain an internal perception that you're shouting, you'll never increase your volume. It's a psychological thing. So what you need is you need real-life feedback. You need to go in conversations, and you'll think you're at a 5. You might think, and in a conversation, this workshop, I want you to go in at a 9 or an 8, and just do it. So when you're doing this, then at the end of that, you say, what do you think my volume was? And then what's going to happen here, Jeff, is they'll go, I think you're at a 5 or a 6. But in your head, you're like, I thought I was a 24.
Yeah.
Surely I was shouting the entire time. And then as you do this more and more and more, you calibrate your internal perception and the external reception. And you have to go through this process. Because I have so many students who come to me and they're going, Vin, I feel like I'm screaming when I talk like this. Like, no, you're not. You're not screaming. So as you balance that out with feedback, the equilibrium occurs and you go, oh, right. So it's not shouting, then you train the new behavior. You've got to go through that experience.
If this video is adding value, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are building a strong community here on YouTube for marketers and business owners. Now, let's go back to the class.
Okay, do you see what I mean? Most people who are quiet, they think they're shouting when they're not. And most people who are loud don't know how loud they actually are.
Like having speakers
So
in their mouth.
calibrate your internal perception and external reception of your volume if you want to be heard by others in the right way. But here's the final problem. When most people try to speak louder, they end up sounding angry. They start sounding too direct, and then they end up shouting at people. Here's what you do instead.
I'm a very direct speaker. We sound like we're yelling, but we're not. We're just talking and we're using our hands a lot. So it sounds angry, it looks angry. And yeah, my face is a bit more expressive. So
The key thing is melody. The key thing for you is a bit more melody in your voice. Say exactly what you just said to me again, but just add a little bit more melody in your voice. And then smile. Say the same thing in 3, 2, more melody.
So I find that people take my tone really poorly and I'm a bit more direct. And so I'm just talking with my hands and all I'm
Sounding
doing is
much more
expressing
better.
myself and it's being taken the wrong way.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Doesn't she sound completely different? You sound completely different. Completely different. But I bet you're sitting there right now going, ew,
Yeah.
that's not me. It is you if you want it to be you, because you are all of it. You are not just one-dimensional. You are multi-dimensional. You are hip-hop, K-pop if you want to do some. You are all of the genres. And I think a lot of us restrict ourselves to only singing one genre, using our voice as one genre. And the reason why it feels so comfortable there, because you've been repeating the behaviors for the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So it feels right. Is it right? No, it's just default. The moment you did that, everyone was like, whoa. That's why communication is one of those realms where the smallest things you do, you will start to see the biggest differences in the way people react to you. But you have to be willing to explore now the unfamiliar. Explore what your instrument is quite capable of. You've got such a beautiful voice and so many wonderful qualities. Don't go through this life playing one key.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
So let this be a moment that opens your mind to the possibility. All of you have access to an incredible instrument, and when you learn how to play it, people will listen. You are only as good as you can communicate. You see, this first circle, what does it represent? Well, this represents the value that you bring the rest of the world. Your gifts, your talents, your technical ability. I'm going to say you're a 10 out of 10. Now I'm going to draw a second circle. The second circle, represented by the red texter, what does that represent? That represents your communication ability. Let's say you're a 3 out of 10. Do you think they see someone who is a 3 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10? What do they see first?
You see a 3 out of 10.
People look at you and see you through the lens of your ability to communicate.
So if you are
So
only a
true.
3 out of 10 with your communication skills, but the value you bring is a 10 out of 10, do you think they see you as a 3 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10? The reality is you're only as good as you can communicate. The moment you unlock your ability to communicate, you will unlock the potential that exists within you.
Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room and instantly light it up, while other people drain the air the moment they open their mouth? Your energy sells before your words ever do. Most entrepreneurs think they need more scripts, more funnels, more tactics, but the truth is, what they really need is more energy. Because energy is the amplifier. Without it, all the scripts in the world won't save you. With it, even imperfect words can move people.
I need you to stop speeding through who you are and what you do. I need you to stop, please. I need you to commit to me that when you are meeting somebody for the first time, or you're standing up in front of a group of people, or you're presenting an idea, whatever it might be, do not rush. My name is X, and I am a Y, and I support A, B, and C. Do not rush your title. Because how you declare your name and your position and your worth to the world in that delivery tells the room everything they need to know about your value.
That's right.
And if you rush through that, if you try and quickly skip over it, it tells them, here's a woman that doesn't believe in her worth, that doesn't assert her value, and is nervous and intimidated standing up and presenting in front of a group of people. Just through that delivery. Your name, who you are, is so precious. It's a gift. Start treating it like one.
Want to know how the most influential people pitch anything in less than 30 seconds? Here's a 3-step formula that separates the amateurs from the pros. Now, you might think that effective pitching requires some natural charisma or years of practice, but most people fail at pitching because they start with features instead of framing the problem first. Here's a 3-step formula that I call the FMT formula that works every time. Step number 1, frame it. Don't say, hey, I have a great product to show you. Instead, ask, have you ever struggled with and add a specific problem? That creates context, which connects emotionally. Step number 2, don't ramble about every feature. Nobody cares about all that. Instead, I want you to deliver one clear message that solves their direct problem. Keep it simple and focused. Step number 3, tie it down. I want you to say, so what this means to you is, and list that specific benefit based on what they mentioned earlier. Make the value explicit. So remember, frame, message, tie down. That's how you pitch anything in just 30 seconds.
Let me tell you what happens when you don't speak up. In the moment, it feels comfortable. It feels good. You may have some slight twinge of regret of, maybe I should have said something. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much. But then you do it again, and the opportunity to contribute or speak presents itself, and you don't take it. And then it happens again.
I literally faced
and over
this.
time, whether it be months or years, you start to teach people how to treat you. People begin to perceive you as quiet, shy, the wallflower. You become comfortable with not being seen. And because of that, you miss out on a relationship with yourself where you can truly acknowledge yourself, feel in love with who you are. So isn't it interesting how 5 seconds of discomfort, speaking up in the moment, saying what you want to say, contributing, can actually have a really negative compounding snowball effect? And all because one decision to not trust in your voice becomes an identity of not trusting in your voice. So please take this as an invitation to break the habit and use your voice more often.
Well, confidence is not about being louder. It's about clear control and intentional, because the way you sound determines how people see you. And when you sound clear and confident, people listen differently. They respect you, they trust you, and they take you seriously. If growing your business is of great importance, then how you speak matters more than you think. This is Pitch Perfect, and I will see you in the next section.
One thing is rest assured, once you're following Glittarz TV, there's this room to upgrade your business and selling skills. We are building a strong community here on YouTube for marketers and business owners. Now, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's brought to you by Glittarz TV, where smart minds learn how to sell anywhere and anytime. Your comments will help push this video to more audience that needs it. Like and subscribe too. See you in the next episode. Bye.